So back here, I'm going to go back to what we talked about last time, but explain a bit more today. So you can turn on and off your shadows here. You can also, through the sun path thing, turn on your sun path. And based on the time you are in, it will show you the location of the sun in the sky. And usually it lets you to edit this. I think because I'm here, it doesn't let me. So if I go back, put it on still, and just change it to that, now I should be able to. That's what. Okay, I'll figure out why it's not letting me to change this. Probably because my sun steady is on somewhere, so I should fix that. I'll fix that. But usually it lets you to change your time and sun location based on this. So if you turn on your sun path, you can edit those options easily. Okay. Yeah. The other thing that is good to know about a 3D view is that, so you have a 3D view and you have a camera set. As soon as somebody goes in and mess with your view, stuff will change and you'll see a different angle. They can move your camera very easily. Let me just. Okay, so the way to avoid that is to click on this unblock 3D view or lock 3D view, and then if you do this, you can save the situation of this view, and then your view will be saved. So I can't orbit around anymore. The angle is fixed. I still can snap or pan around, which doesn't make any changes because if my region is fixed, my region is moving with me, so that's not changing my view. But I can't orbit around because I've locked the view, so your camera is saved. And you can always unlock it and then go back. So that's also something to have in mind. I'll go to an elevation view, better elevation view, even a better one. No, okay, that's fine. I want to show you how you can edit some of the stuff over there. So you can have your. It's a great view. Let me just create a new one. Oh, that's inside. So I'll go view, put a new elevation in. I'll just put it there. I want to see through here. Let's say that. Then I double click on this and I extend my region to see the whole thing. I have a far clipping somewhere, so I'll just fix that. So I select my view, extend this all the way to the back so I can see the whole building. Back to the view, I see this. I should be able to turn on my shadow now. Back to my graphics, smooth lines, ambient shadow, and then in the depth queuing, I just say I want to see that. So now you can see how the farther parts is fading out, and when it's closer to me, it's sharper and more visible. So that would be very helpful if you have a complicated geometry and you want to show what is actually at the front of an elevation. Okay. Other thing that is good to know about the view properties is in a plan view, so similar stuff you can change like scale, visibility, and graphics, but there are some new things that you were not able to change before. So one of them is the view range. I will leave this to you guys to take a look and really see what each of these numbers represent. So if you click on this show, it will show you what each of these numbers are and how you can change them. But basically it shows where is the top, where is the bottom of a view, and where you're cutting it. So apparently based on what your design is, if you call it as 1600, that window will show up. And if I call it as, if I cut it at 100, at 1000 millimeters, which is a meter, that window will disappear because the cut plane is lower than that window. So based on what you're showing and what your design is, you may want to change those information. But again, to know the details of it, you can just click show and each time check and see all those numbers, where they are, what they mean. The other thing that is so the same thing, and in the view range you can decide if you want to have a depth. You can see the level below. Let's say you have a void in your building. You want to see what's happening down the void and how far you want to go down. You can edit it through there. And then the other thing that is good to know in the plan view is the underlay. So let's say you don't want to see through the void or what's down there, but you want to see what's happening in the level below, and maybe you want to align some lines or something. So that's where to do that. So if you are in, let's say you are in level 2, and you want to know in an underlay what's happening in level 1, that's how you do it, and then you'll see. If you do none, you won't see anything in level 1, but because my two floors are very similar, it's not very obvious, but you can see if you turn that on or off, a few things will change. So that's where to change your underlay. I showed you guys the section box, and then the last thing about the views is the sheets. So you can export your views directly, but you can also export sheets, and sheets are more defined and standardized. So it's always better to export sheets and keep exporting those and replace the existing PDF, not the views, because you may always move your views around, and that may give you a bit of issue sometimes. So if I want to create a new sheet, just under the view menu, here I can click on sheet. It will make a new sheet for me. There's an A0 metric default there. I can load more stuff, which I have in my library that comes with Revit by default, but I'll just select that. And then you can see down here in the project browser where I've got the sheets, a new sheet has been added here. So that's the title block where I said all the information you put in under manage and project information will show up. So that's that. If you want to change those, you can change them through here or through that. And also you can rename your sheet, call it sheet 1. Your sheet name will show up down there, and you can insert views to the sheets. So you can drag stuff into it, but you could also under view say I want to put a view in this sheet. You will select the floor plan, and then you'll put it in. You will select whatever you want to do and put it in. And then now the scale is making more sense, because if you change the scale of one of these, it will change on the sheet. And now you can look at the relationships of the drawings. Another thing on the sheets is that if you have a drawing selected, you will be moving that view around, not the actual objects. But if you have my activate view tool on, now you are working on your view, not the actual building, not only the view. And when you click out, double click out, it will come out of that mode. So let's say in this view, that's here, I don't want to see that crop region, I'll just do activate view, I'll select that, I change it or I hide it, and then I'll come back here, it's gone. So or maybe here I have this elevation thing on, I don't want to see it, I'll select on it, select this one, I want to hide it, it's done, I go back. Things that you hide, dimensions and some stuff like that are view specific, so you put them on a view and it's only reading from that view, it's not actually changing your building. That's that about views, managing, and the sheets.